high fives, I like hugs, I like good jobs, you know, but I mean, it's a bit of privilege to be in the right place, the right time, and to dominate, you know, and I can't say I did any of that without Misty or without anyone else who, my partners, like we started this whole thing, like brought to you by AT&T as athletes. Without sponsorships, we don't have our dreams. We don't become the legends that we are, you know, and so, I just retired too, so if you want me to cry, I can talk about it, but I haven't reflected on my career yet because I really do believe the best is yet to come. I was talking to Lindsey backstage because she has seemingly transitioned, obviously so gracefully and like so powerfully.
It's never pretty.
It's an act. No, but she's a badass. We all know that. But oh my god, I lost my train of thought. But I know it's
badass.
Fresh retirement, no crying.
Anyhow, it's totally gone. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, I'm in a transition. I haven't reflected yet. I know it's going to be messy, and I can't wait to look back on the simple joys, the profound moments that made my career so special. But without, you know, the army behind me, it doesn't happen. So.
What about you, Lindsey? Is there any advice? I feel like we can all use that, taking a step back, being like, we are badass. We woke up today and dressed our children and put on a yellow suit and showed up. How do you give yourself some kudos?
I mean, I've had a little bit more time to reflect on my career, but I remember so vividly when I was a kid and Mia Hamm won the World Cup, and my dad said, you know, and this is coming from my dad, this is an amazing time for women in sports. And I really took that opportunity. I saw Mia Hamm, I saw what all these amazing female athletes were doing, and they were breaking barriers. And I didn't set out to break barriers in my career, but I took that inspiration from the amazing women before me. I used that opportunity to hopefully pave the way for the next generation. And I think that's one thing that I'm more proud of than, you know, any accolade, is that, you know, I contributed to the success of other women.
That's amazing.
And it's so much.
You guys, Kerri, you were saying that you won a lot. Obviously, Lindsey, you have as well. But how have you handled adversity in maybe the entrepreneurial world, and how has your, the way that you handled adversity in sports, how has that carried over? Have you learned any lessons in sports that you're carrying over?
I mean, I just have to say thank goodness for my history in sports, because I feel like it taught me communication, it taught me perseverance, it taught me the value of having a North Star, which I don't have one right now, which I'm working toward. You learn all these really intense life lessons, like through experience, which is, I think, one of the most valuable things in sports. And so being an entrepreneur now, I realize like what an amazing luxury it is just to be an athlete, to focus on yourself and to not have anyone else really have a say-so in how well you do or your opportunities. As an entrepreneur, as you all know, like your baby isn't someone else's baby, and their timing and their funding, is theirs to do what they want with. And so I think the lessons that I learned, basically, it's like, I was having a bad day once, and I was driving around, and I was like, God, I just need a sign, I need something, like help me, I'm really struggling, my self-doubt is huge. And I'm driving by this church, and the quote on the church was, only when it's easy. It's like athletes, the greats, anything, when you're an entertainer, an athlete, whatever it is, they show up even when it's not easy, and especially when it's not easy. And so as an entrepreneur, I'm reminding myself of that every single day, and also just to keep my hands in the clay throughout every single process, because no one else sees the vision like I do. And again, that's the joy of it, is staying dirty with it. And so those are two lessons that I've learned.
What about you, Lindsey? You have your production company, you've got your foundation. Like, how has your adversity as an athlete helped you navigate that world?
I think that sports is just a great way to learn the key essentials of life: grit, determination, perseverance, loyalty, ethics. And I think that's why, having kids in sports is so important. And I've learned so much from, being able to overcome any adversity that comes my way, whether that was physical, personal, professional, and all the same rules apply in business. If you're starting your own business, if I drop more F-bombs, I just feel like,
give her, babe, give her.
It's fucking hard, so you just have to keep persevering. The most successful people are not the smartest, they're not the most talented, they're the people that are willing to persevere no matter what they face. And so that's what I take from skiing, from my life into business, and what I try to do every day is just persevere.
I love that your Minnesota is slowly but surely seeping out as we go through this.
She's from Canada.
We get it. We're cut with the same cloth.
If I start pronouncing with more vowels, you know
it's
a good day.
It's a good day. Good day, bud. Let's talk about high pressure, because you guys have faced a lot of it. How has that, not to keep on asking the same questions, like how has that transitioned into, your continued career? But Kerri, I mean, gold medal match, everything is on the line. You've been through this so many times. Talk us through the mindset, because I'm terrible under pressure. Like, how do you guys do it?
Well, first of all, stop saying that.
I did follow Reese Witherspoon up here. I did do that.
Obviously, you're kicking butt up here, so I think you're very good under pressure. But that's kind of the first thing that I would go to is like your self-talk is so important, because that's where confidence comes from, is the way we talk to ourselves, about the situation we're in. So for me, self-talk is hugely important. And kind of, not to be super redundant, but it's true. It's like every day I show up to practice, every day I show up to train, I didn't just go through the motions. I showed up on purpose with intention. I would not just train my craft, but I would train my breath work. I would train my focus. I would train my interaction with my partner. So I wouldn't just show up on game day, gold medal match day, and be like, okay, let's focus harder, let's breathe better. And so I think the everyday consistency is really important. And then for me, something that really, really helped me in those big moments, which I've done a lot of self-help, like I said, I got a great performance psychologist named Mike Gervais. And he's like, Kerri, in truth, every moment is the same. So there's no big moments. I'm like, that's funny. You've never been playing for a gold medal. There's some big moments. He's like, well, instead of framing it that way, which makes you feel, pressure and tension, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, why don't you just look at those big moments as a competitive moment? And the moment he said, you're a great competitor, right? I'm like, world class. Like, that's one thing I know about myself. I can compete. It took all the pressure off of myself. And so by the end of my career, anytime the game got close where I was feeling pressure, I would smile at it. I'd like, oh, this is what I signed up for. So even if I'm like quaking my boots, like, this is about to get fun. And I kind of do the same thing, when I'm on a board call and I'm nervous or whatever it is. I kind of smile, take a deep breath, and say that it's game time. So it kind of goes back again to how you frame things and how you're going to live through it. And then just taking that pause before those moments and knowing that I get to choose my energy, I get to choose my focus, and if I'm present, then I can kick ass.
And what about you, Lindsey? You said that they used to call your group the Pony Show, and you're having to go up and prove yourself
Giddy up
against all of these men. That's got to be a lot of pressure. Did you not really think of it that way?
No, it's such a great opportunity. I always remember what Billie Jean King said, pressure is a privilege. We've all worked so hard to be in those big moment positions, and it's a privilege, and don't take it for granted. I never take any opportunity for granted. I look at it as just that, an opportunity to give my best, to show up, to be present, and if I fail, at least I failed giving my best. And I think the reframing and just how you think about pressure and how you think about those big moments, I think about it so logically. If I'm nervous, I'm never going to perform to the ability that I could, so what's the actual point? And it's so hard to take the emotion out of it because you've worked so hard to be in that position. But if you let that emotion get to you, you will never succeed. So just try your best, and if you fail, try again. That's all we can do is try your best.
That's an amazing one, yeah. Kerri, we're wrapping up here, but what do you think, I think we're all trying to be leaders in our community. I mean, you've all shown up today, which I think shows a lot, but what do you think is the secret key of success in being a leader? How can we all go forward and be a better leader in our lives?
I mean, fundamentally, you guys are all doing it here. You're here for yourself to experience community. So I think showing up on purpose and keep leading yourself. No one else is going to create the business you want. No one else has a vision in your head. It's a beautiful testament to Reese's team, to Hello Sunshine, to the vision here that you guys all showed up. I mean, looking beautiful, fired up with all the energy that you have. So I think if you can have the grit and the discipline, which is a form of self-love, to show up every single day on purpose for what you love, I mean, that's leadership to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's having that perseverance. It's, to Kerri's point, showing up, being present, and leading by example, and empowering the people around you to help you all move forward. But perseverance, I think, is the number one thing that everyone needs to remember, is that Everyone faces challenges, and if you can persevere, if you can continue to just grind, you will get to where you want to go.
Final question. I really love hearing everybody's dreams and goals, and I love surrounding myself with people that dream so big. So if you can share with us, what are your, you've already have legacy careers, but is there anything that you still want to accomplish, or what do you want to accomplish with 1440?
Gosh. Well, I have 3 babies. They're not babies anymore, but 14, 13, and 10 are my children, and I want to be as present as possible with them and have the most kick-ass, lovely family. But fundamentally, since I don't have my North Star yet, which is leaving me like a little bit like a kite without a string, I want to kick ass in life. Doing things that I love, doing things that allow me to connect, to inspire, to be so close to my babies. But I also want to fly and soar, so if any of you have any ideas, I'm wide open, but I can't wait to create it. I'm inspired by Lindsey. I've been, you've kicked butt. I mean, everyone here today is just on a mission. I can't wait to find mine, but fundamentally I know that I want to inspire and empower, because in order to speak to it, I need to be inspired and empowered.
I mean, I honestly have no idea. I know that I want to have kids. I know that I want to work really hard, so eventually one day I can explore the world with my kids. And, my mom passed away a year ago, and she said every day is a great day. So I take it one day at a time, that every day is a great day. So take every opportunity, work as hard as you can, and you'll get to where you want to go.
Give it up for these amazing women. That was badass. Thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate you. Okay, up next is a special fireside chat with 2 women we know and we love. I'd love to welcome to the stage Reese Witherspoon and Tracy Ellis Ross. And the moment we're coming to